Alright, recording, welcome back. TeamSpeak has gone down and been a little bit unstable. Don't know whether it was a power outage on the server admin's end, or whether his cats were playing around again. We continued the session a little bit, not too much, maybe like 10 minutes at most. And a Skype call. When that situation happened prior, you could access what occurred on Jordan's Twitch channel as a recap. Marcus encountered the spectral image of a ghost who may have very well decided to settle within him now because he was leaving her. And they're now at Detective Farnsworth's apartment and not getting an answer at the door. There you go, you guys can proceed.
Is there any sound coming from inside?
Nope.
Will Marcus knock again?
Okay, Marcus knocks again. 30, 45 seconds, nothing.
There's no sound from inside. He says to David,
You want to try breaking in?
I mean, he might not even be in there.
He very well might not. He definitely
we can
doesn't have a
get-
chain out of the way.
Well, if we're breaking in there, you're the one to do it.
Alright, let's give this a try.
David Green manages to pick the lock like it's nothing, and since the chain's not in existence, door easily unlocks.
Alright, David's going to try to slip quietly inside.
Okay. David Green is a perceptive and investigative enough fellow. It definitely looks like the room has changed significantly since the last time that David was here. Papers have been moved around, furniture has been moved a little bit. Primary points of interest, looking at the bedroom, entire dresser drawers are open, and they appear to have been emptied. Closet door is open as well, and there are slight markings in the carpet that would denote that perhaps like some sort of suitcase or briefcase used to be there.
Looks like he fled.
There's also, David is definitely a perceptive enough investigator and works some crime scenes. It almost seems as if the place had definitely been cleaned up and had been worked. Like, maybe he called it a favor and someone came and helped him case his own place. So just sort of notings like tools that might be used to examine or look for fingerprints or check for fluids or any sort of stray hairs that might have fallen or anything. Because the place definitely looks like any sort of trash and rubbish and refuse has been disposed of, sort of make a cleaner work environment.
Looks like this place has been turned over too, like by some kind of cleaner.
Why do you think to run?
There's also a toothbrush in the bathroom trash can.
I don't know. I'll check the toothbrush. I assume that the bristles are red.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was afraid of whatever left a red stain in his mouth. Might be he thinks he did something.
Marcus will just shrug.
Not sure what we can do aside from wait for him to come back.
If he comes
If at
back.
all. Unless, and again, I'm not quite sure how your powers work. Unless you could track him down like a bloodhound with your super senses.
Suddenly, in
Probably.
front of the eyes of both David and Marcus, the bathroom mirror shatters. Sort of exploding outward, all these fragments darting off into the sort of dimly lit from the exterior, just scattering and cascading onto the floor.
David will flip out slightly and dive behind cover.
Marcus will
Marcus will what?
attempt to dive out of the way.
Okay. Neither of you are hit by fragments from the mirror, and safely get cover as they scatter around. It's worth noting, interestingly enough, that the explosion itself, the mirror thing, didn't create any sound. Both of you are definitely observant enough to note that, and you're not hearing the pieces fall to the floor. You just saw them.
Alright, after a couple seconds, David will stand back up and take a look.
Marcus will follow.
Looks like the bathroom mirror is now non-existent, and its remnants are scattered along the floor.
David will check for a bullet hole or something.
Give me a perception plus investigation at difficulty 6. No, no bullet hole. It's like the thing suddenly just exploded outward.
Does this relate to your ghost problem?
Marcus will shrug like, maybe?
It's worth noting that
Well,
in the process of like walking across the ground to check out, say, the bathroom mirror, if where it was, like you're not making like there's no crunch of glass on your shoes. It just sounds like you walking across the floor normally.
David will reach down and try and pick up a piece.
Finger goes right through it and touches the floor. And with
Ah.
that, the effect fades from David's eyes.
It's
And-
an illusion.
When David looks up, the bathroom mirror is still right there.
It's an illusion. Something's messing with us. Or we're going crazy. Or both.
Well, what do we do?
Is Marcus still seeing the illusion?
No, with you sticking your finger right through it, and you telling him that, and he would realize he hadn't heard any sound, it fades away from his eyes as well.
I heard the Ravnos can do something like that, but I've never met a Ravnos in person. Could be the ghost. Could be something else. I don't know.
Well, let's be honest here. How many notes do you know in the city?
Like I said, I've never met one.
Exactly.
I mean, it's probably the ghost thing. Unless the ghost is also someone trying to mess with you with illusions.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is. I don't know.
Marcus is the only one who hears a sort of faint giggling now, just a breathy whisper against his ear, and followed by, "That was fun, wasn't it? You should have seen your faces."
Yeah, that was the ghost.
How can you tell? Did your auspex tell you
She
something?
told me. The ghost told me.
So you're talking to it now?
It's talking to me.
Right.
Well, she's talking to me. Feels like she's on my shoulders right now.
This is fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Let's have this conversation elsewhere. I don't want to be here when someone gets back.
All right.
Okay.
I guess we'll go back to the alleyway next door.
Sure. Alleyways are fun.
Alright. You leave without further incident.
Then I'll lock up behind me, of course.
It's a good thing you noted that. You do that?
Then once we get to the alleyway, or David will, ask Marcus, so, tell me everything.
What do you mean?
I say ask, it's really more of an order. About the ghost, what's going on with it?
Apparently it's become attached to me.
Like, like fixated on you?
Apparently.
Fuck. So, what do you think we should do about it?
Talk to someone who knows about ghosts.
Have any idea what that would be?
The Giovanni.
So you want to just walk into the airport, say, hey, point us to the nearest Giovanni.
Do you have any other plans?
No, I guess not. I mean, I do want to start tracking down some IA people, but not for the moment. You want to get Byron in on this? Joseph, maybe? I mean, maybe Joseph can perform an exorcism. That's the thing priests do, right?
Is he Catholic?
I don't know. He never talks about his religion. It's worries I went off on him about it the other day.
I don't... From what everything I know about ghosts, which is probably more than you know, surprisingly, you need to be a necromancer to actually harm them.
Listen, my sire mostly taught about things that can trick you, things that play the same sorts of games that the Nosferatu play. Didn't teach me much about ghouls and ghosts and shit like that. That's what I know about the Ravnos. Kinda.
So you're thinking this is a Radnos thing?
It's the only thing that I know about that could do that. I don't know. Or it could be a ghost.
I'm pretty certain it's a ghost.
All right.
Everything I know about it says ghost.
Then, I don't know. We walk into JFK and hope they come to us? I mean, that sounds pretty
Wow.
fucking dangerous.
I don't fucking, man. Like, so much shit right now. I just don't know what the hell to go. I don't know what the hell's going on. We either talk to the Tremere and they don't really can't do anything, or we talk to the Giovanni who we know can do something.
The trick's just finding them and, hoping they don't, I don't know, rip our souls out and use it to do something.
Marcus just goes,
Alright, if you're planning on going and seeing the Giovanni, I'm going with you.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Marcus finds himself at this moment suddenly, maybe just the stress of the moment, the intensity of the situation, hungrier than what he thought he was. He's apparently somehow misplaced a point of vitae.
Okay. We could try the Tremere since they owe us one, but I'm not certain they can do anything.
Yeah, neither am I. I've never really heard about them dealing with ghosts.
It's not their forte.
No, their forte is being spooky and trying to kill Samitsi.
Speaking as a storyteller, you could always go try to find several. He might know how to do it.
I almost said botching killing Samitsi, but I realized I couldn't say that in character.
That's right. Sevlon Cerveni's dead, man. Really dead.
Almost said that.
Either way, Marcus is going to be like, I just don't know what to do right now.
Yeah, neither do I.
The only people we know who can deal with this is the Giovanni, and I'm not sure how to get in contact with them.
I could always ask the Nosferatu if they know how, but yeah, that's probably the best bet. I'll see if I can get some Nosferatu to tell me. I'll get back to you if I find anything out.
Okay.
Just, if you're gonna go running off to the Giovanni, tell me so I can be there to back you up.
Okay.
Fuck, if it's not one thing, it's the other. And then David's going to grumpily saunter off to his, abode.
Okay.
I think Marcus will probably go out and try to hunt. I say try because I have a feeling something's going to happen.
Marcus, during the process of hunting, is gonna have a much harder time of it. So much so that we're definitely gonna say easily a difficulty 6 for him for hunting. the reason for that is now that Marcus is alone and wandering along the streets, there there seems to be this is a situation that occurred earlier. These sort of phantom sort of almost as if something is pulling the very nerve endings in your brain that's responsible for interpreting senses and just feeding it nonsensical data. There's a point in time where Marcus finds himself diving for cover in an alleyway as he gets a flashback of a bomb explosion in Vietnam, along with the report of machine gun fire. Time where he walks across a pathway, looks at a bridge, and off in the distance he sees the gutted, disemboweled remnants of a friend he had made after he had been drafted. Or piles and piles of heroin. Or just sort of dripping down from an awning of a roof, just like a sheet of alcohol splashing down onto the sidewalk. That he thinks these things might be real enough, but every time his eyes twitch to get a look at them, they're not there. They only pass for the fleetest of just a second or two. That they're apparently in existence. But every time he tries to turn his head, they're gone.
Welp. So I'm going to do the charisma plus empathy roll.
Difficulty 6. Marcus is able to find someone. But her blood, it's still blood, but it tastes like ashes in his mouth.
This is not fun at all.
And he ate an ashtray once when he was on heroin, so he would know.
That's right, you would know how ashes taste, especially after your buddies were obliterated before your very eyes. For everyone else, I know what Joseph's doing. Byron's still doing some bookkeeping and calling about his stock options. David, go ahead.
About 15 minutes after he calls Evelyn, he's going to remember, or it's going to occur to him, he'll call Evelyn back, and hopefully she's still at the office. He's guessing
she's still at the office.
He said, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, if you would look up to see who owns and or manages the Lucky Ace downtown. I was at there last night. I'm just curious.
Ooh, the Lucky Ace. You know, that used to be a speakeasy during the Prohibition.
Did it?
Yeah. They, if my understanding, it has some sort of historical basis and attachment. Yeah, some interesting ties. Used to be some tours, I think. I can't remember who owns it off the top of my head, but they have the trick walls and the bar tables that flip down to easily dispose of all the alcohol and everything.
Cool. I'll have to look around more next time I go there. I wasn't paying too much attention to that.
I think there was even some local television special about the hidden basement room. You pull with some sort of brick down there in the basement. The door swings open, and it's some sort of chilled ice box where they kept all the booze.
Really? That's great. I don't know. That definitely gives me a reason to go check it out again. but I am curious who owns and manages the place. If you can find that in any of the real estate records or anything like that, I'd be appreciative.
Probably be a clipping for that somewhere. I'll take a look.
Thanks a bunch. And then then Byron will go back to doing his financial thing.
Okay. I guess we'll take a look at David, who manages to arrive at his holy sanctum. He is not haunted by shattering glass or anything.
No, he has something much more mundane in the form of a rock in his chest.
Yeah, only several odd Cervenia in his head. That's not a big deal, right?
Not like a ghost. Alright, well, David will get on ShrekNet and ask the question of, so how the fuck does one even get in contact with the Giovanni? If one were to be that fucking stupid.
Well, as it turns out, the Giovanni are involved in a lot of different affairs around the city, or at least purported to be, rumored to be. The Giovanni clan influence sort of touches base with numerous other clans, particularly those of a crime variety. Clearly the Sedites, but perhaps, some Bruja, coteries down in Brooklyn, maybe even some Vintru there in Wall Street. Basically, the Giovanni have their hands outstretched into many pies, and being as how they oversee the domain of JFK International Airport, for those who are on their good side, they can see that things manage to get through customs, and for those who are on their bad side, shipments can be lost, or planes that a vampire might be riding on could be outright turned around, or scheduled so that they arrive during the middle of the day. As for getting in contact with them, well, apparently, according to the post that David sees as he basically watched this for the rest of the night, it's don't actually know where any of the Giovanni, like exactly how many of them there are. The estimate, you'll see that I actually added text signs over all of the boroughs for how many estimated there are. There's estimated that like between 1 and 4 direct Giovanni are here in the city, not counting any of their ghouls or servitors or any other form of minions or mooks or lackeys. But, obviously their sort of unofficial recognized domain is JFK. They've never still purposely declared that, but they've also never, really extended their influence to elsewhere in the city. Maybe they sleep in the airport itself. Maybe they have, some sort of ethnic community, like it makes sense for like a Little Italy type situation, but that wouldn't be very secretive. It's unknown where they lair. Your best place of attracting attention, if you were crazy enough to want to do that, would be to do something that affected JFK International Airport. Of course, it's pretty goddamn hard for a Nosferatu to show about JFK, being as how it's such an amazingly vast and well-lit place. Obfuscate could not even begin to cover that scope of range.
Right.
Which is why Nosferatu actually end up, Giovanni are not something that at least Nosferatu want to get around. Of course, they have their whole sort of money and greed and wealth and power aspect that they go for, but there's also the creep factor associated with them due to the title Necromancers. The Giovanni are the sort of preeminent experts. The Camarilla don't have one on handling ghostly affairs, and that involves corrupting and controlling, if not outright banishing or destroying ghosts, which means that it's possible that they could haunt you if you upset them, rather than, outright kill you for interfering with a business venture of theirs. They could merely make the rest of your unlife miserable.
Right.
It's not exactly a threshold that even Nosferatu want to mess with.
So we want to attract their attention in a way that, both gets their attention and doesn't make them sick a ghost on us.
Right, you'd be looking for a positive angle, but seems like the Nosferatu themselves, or at least the ones who are posting, they don't have any dealings with the Giovanni. Only that, they just know through rumors that the Giovanni themselves have sort of business ventures and perhaps have legitimate business fronts they're involved in and just not mentioned about, and also illegitimate businesses they're involved in as well, that just no one knows exactly what they are except for the people who are involved. The Giovanni do a pretty good job of keeping secretive. Again, there's the whole sort of terror, like, the Tremere are terrifying for their thaumaturgy, the Giovanni end up being terrified because no one wants to be haunted by a ghost.
Right.
That, and with the old money and them being powerful and influential on a level that, incoming neonates tend not to be or even understand here in New York City, it's, it doesn't have to be a ghost haunting. They can just kill you, and as it turns out, Kindred are adverse to final death.
Yeah, you just see some numbers on that.
I think 98%.
That sounds a little bit high.
You're actually bringing the average down.
David is the 2%.
The suicidal 2%.
He's not suicidal, he's just not adverse to it. Sounds like he's pro-final death.
Have like a picket line.
Otherwise he'd already have manned up, grown out some claws, and ripped the chunk out of his chest. He's just, not adverse to it.
But yeah, in regards to what, the Giovanni can do in terms of like a personal, like close to Cain level, it's, it does focus on witnessing, summoning, and commanding the spirits of the dead. It's, in regards to things that can actually harm Wraiths directly, you're looking at, like, say, special relics and artifacts, and the Tremere probably knows some sort of dumb bullshit. And then there's necromancy.
Well, shit. I mean, I could try and go ask the Archon, but I don't really want to bother him any more than he's already being bothered by the info I dropped on him about the police. I mean, bothering him now when he's so busy would be stupid. I don't know.
While David's also on ShrekNet, there's, some more information that's puttering about perhaps increasing vampire disappearances, more Nosferatu, about, say, a half dozen who are rumored to have their domains in the Bronx have gone off-grid, just vanished.
Shit.
And those who had disappeared before as well, including Prince Calibros, no one's seen or heard from him.
David doesn't even know where to start on that. Are any of these specific domains public knowledge among the Nosferatu? Somewhere that you could actually go and take a look?
Well, no.
I figured.
I mean, I've marked on the location of the Bronx where, like, these sort of domains are purported to be, like how, folks know that you domain in Astoria, but you wouldn't know exactly where the haven was there. Whether it was in a group warren, or whether,
Right.
In short, it's not really a thing you can research.
Right.
But that would bring Nosferatu numbers right back down to being below the Tremere again. And if anything, at this point the Nosferatu might be on equal numbers with the amount of Gangrel who are in the city, which is less than a dozen.
Fuck. Alright. David's actually going to, he still has Gerard's number, right?
Yep.
He's going to give him a call.
4 rings, but then raspy voice picks up. Yes, David.
I think we should discuss the possibility of evacuation again.
Long pause. He says, certainly I can't control whether anyone wants to leave this city.
No, but you're influential. Your word could encourage it. And at this point, do we even have the critical mass to affect anything? To protect ourselves?
I'm not ready to give up so easily, but I can understand if there will be individuals who wish to leave. There will always be those who wish to come to this honeyed land of opportunity.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm certainly not leaving New York.
Indeed, and if you're not leaving, really, I don't think you could be in a possibility to advocate. Speaking of any shot that, of changing the tides, what do you think about the whole, disabling Marlena thing?
Well, I haven't heard about me acting against a review.
You can almost feel the shrug on the other side of the phone. I'm not saying whether you should either. I don't trust Vander Weyden. Especially now with our, if word gets out about our numbers dwindling, I think our fate will be determined no matter what, or even perhaps no matter who becomes prince. Fuck them. He's out of his mind.
I don't know. I don't really trust either of them for different reasons.
Well, what would you rather have? Polonia coming back?
Yeah, let's not even joke about that.
That might very well be what happens. It's difficult to keep a look at the Warrens and the underground passages. Could be possible that our brothers on the other side might be helping them with this one. These number disappearances are too vast, and we've gone above ground. I have my suspicions that if a move were being made, and that we somehow are being targeted and identified, we would be the best ones to go after because no other clan would know or care.
That and the way we ran interference, ran the underground, ran espionage. Be one of the best assets to hit first.
What I can't imagine is why for the life of me, after what we saw in those Warrens when we took the city, why they would have want anything to do with it again, but
I mean,
again,
we still
there's...
want it.
There's another shrug on the phone. Indeed, for whatever reason. So in that aspect, it's seeing as how they know the same passages and pathways, and they know ShrekNet as well. It's possible they might have a sympathizer or got in somehow, and it the pretty ones need us, whether they like it or not.
I just hope we're still there when they need us. Alright. Well,
You may wish maybe not to, perhaps being alone ends up being our greatest weakness of all. That is why, after all, that so many of us band together on our warrens. You should consider that it is only, other than that one group of 2 who were decapitated, all of the others have purportedly been alone.
yeah, I'm considering asking one of my coterie mates if I can share a sanctum, share a haven.
Hopefully they'll understand. Hopefully you will.
Stay safe.
Good night, David. And, he hangs up.
About what time is it now?
Probably just a few minutes after midnight.
Alright. Well, while David continues to let that thread about the Giovanni percolate, he's gonna go head up to the north side of Astoria and hopefully find a nice, abandoned warehouse.
Okay.
And with that, I'm gonna go get some food.
Alright.
What's Byron doing?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he got bored and decided to shave his head. But sure, why not?
Bet Byron's doing venture things like shaving his head. Okay.
But the good news is that many of his phone calls towards starts getting towards morning will actually talk to people that run his accounts because they're in Europe. So he'll actually be able to get them in the morning.
That's right. Good job. What does Marcus do after he finishes hunting, Jordan?
I guess he wanders the streets and tries not to go crazy. Which is getting increasingly harder. Because apparently he's seeing things from Vietnam now.
Not just Vietnam. It seems that these sort of moments, the sort of the sights or the sounds or the scents, recognized and beloved scents from his childhood, whether it was a smell of baking cookies or apple pie or incense or, the smell of a fired gun in his hands or, whatever sort of tactile sensations he might pull from that as well. It's almost as if there's a just sort of a battery of random sensations that strike him, and there's no exact timetable for it. Sometimes Marcus is left alone for like an entire hour without seeing or hearing anything that actually isn't there. and then there are times where it's just like a flood of nostalgia coming back to him.
All right.
It's I don't know too much in depth about Marcus's history because we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. But it seems as if these haunting effects really cover over the sort of repressed fears or guilty memories that Marcus has in his life.
All right. Spooky.
Yeah, just because the crazy doesn't exactly come out is like in every session. As I end up noting, like everyone's derangements end up taking effect, even during the downtimes, and as I've said before on several occasions, Marcus at times will just get baffled into a complete stupor and obsess over a particular topic. Sometimes maybe Byron just can't quite find that bite that he wants to. He's not satisfied, and sometimes Joseph is completely taken over by the soul of a victim who he's eaten, and acts to the betterment of everyone who's not him and everyone he holds dear.
Yeah, I'm guessing Byron has a fair idea of what Joseph's, I mean, if not the actual nitty-gritty, that, yeah, it takes him out of action for a night here or there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever told anyone the specifics, but you all know that it's every now and then when he feeds, he goes bonkers.
Right. I think you told us that like the second or third session or something like that. You let us all know. It was after you had the whole session basically off because you were out for the night.
Yeah, and Grimith, I'll go ahead and do that in the open.
But yes, Larian, Byron definitely thinks that he's possibly the only normal one of the bunch. That's a true statement.
I think Byron's felt that way since before the campaign started. I'm the only one who understands anything here.
Let's see. You got a Nosferatu. He can't even fathom that. You've got a Malkavian preacher. Okay, he seemed like a nice enough guy. But then he blew that guy's head off in that car just out of the blue. That kind of weirded him out a little bit.
Stabbed him in the spine.
Oh, stabbed him.
Stabbed him in the spine. It was Byron that blew the guy's head off by accident. Different guy. But yeah, but murder is the point. And but he's gotten over that, but he's still not sure. He's like, what is up with this dude? And he actually thought he could get along with Marcus for a while, and he still kind of does. But Marcus is kind of a punky lush, so he doesn't know what to think of that either.
Unfortunately, Marcus was so young at the time that he hadn't developed gin blossoms.
There you go.
Where's everyone else from the campaign start? I thought that Byron had no idea what was going on.
Oh, I didn't say Byron had a clue what was going on. I just said that he thinks he's the most normal.
I hope Joseph buys your tinfoil hat, so... So I suppose for the rest of the turn here, the night slash morning, you guys are just gonna stick to doing your own thing, hanging out, playing Vintruitendo.
Yeah, Joseph's got a feed, actually.
Alright, crazy roll! Crazy roll!
It's crazy rolled past. He's not crazy.
Damn it! We haven't seen him lose his mind since I engaged hard mode. Craig, you're safe. That would be what you'd do. Fucking Victim would use your demontation powers on Craig.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's right. He'd break Craig's mind. Oh, jeez, this is gonna end badly.
I'll teach you to fucking try to put me in this gilded cage. And then you'd roll 6 successes for the next fucking year. You'd be seeing shit.
God damn it, and Joseph would have to take care of him.
I was kind of hoping that you would take Joseph and try to track down, I can't even remember his name, the Vargas replacement that you nightmared. I just wanted to have that RP'd out if you ever met him again.
I was thinking about that, but then I realized Joseph would be like, well, he's not going to come back. I'm not going to be able to make him come back. And even if he did, his credibility is going to be dashed from quitting and coming back. So there's no point to.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you're only
he's that Roy Dufford is gonna be having those fucking haunted bullshit things for like the next fucking 2.5 months. You did a number on him.
Yeah, I was hoping for 2 successes, maybe 3. But yeah, that was a lot more than I was expecting.
Like, Grimith, can I voluntarily reduce my success? No.
So what happened since I left?
Absolutely nothing.
Just been.
We're all.
Byron had another conversation with Evelyn, which actually happened before. It happened in the past. Basically, we've just been talking and socializing without doing anything pertaining to the session directly. I was trying to discern what the players wanted to do other than hanging out and playing Vintruitendo. I think everyone wants to just keep doing their own lonesome thing and for the rest of the night and not do anything significant in regards to the actual sort of campaign session.
Yeah, David's mostly just trying to get a new place to stay that he can start, properly equipping, and then offer the idea to Marcus of having a roommates situation with their saying.
Was that a conversation that you wanted to have with Marcus now, since Marcus already found a place where he was going to be living?
Not until David at least has a warehouse he can point to and says, I want to make that into a place.
Okay. Well, David can begin the hunt for Red October.
So he's a Scottish man playing a Lithuanian guy?
Yes. And I just so happened to glance at the chat. I just want to note this. As far as Joseph Chung is concerned, he is completely normal in regards to he's not crazy. How he perceives the world now with his sanguinary animism, that's how he's supposed to perceive the world, because that's how it is.
Yeah, the way he views it is he knows the Malkavians get this special insight, and he thinks that's what it is. It's he's not crazy. The Malkavian idea that they're all crazy is just some kind of superstition. He doesn't know anything about that for sure, but he's not crazy. He just knows he hears something more than other people do. He knows more about it. That's it.
If I was in his shoes, I would take things like the killing of the motorist, the time
That
he licked a shoe. I think he would take those oddities as, oh, that's what's crazy about me, not the sanguinary animism. The sanguinary
the
animism is the sane part.
the killing the motorist he attributes to the beast. He doesn't attribute that to him choice. That's part of that the beast. And as for the licking the shoe, well, that was a good idea at the time. There's possible that he could have gotten something from that. It was just really disgusting. But he's not crazy.
It's
I
actually, it's lucky he is Malkavian because David might have decided to do something about him if he weren't. Like if he thought that some of the stuff that he was doing was just out of malice.
yeah, yeah. Like warning, Craig. I think Craig has definitely have warnings.
Yeah, Craig and Rain are both fully informed of Joseph's powers. They know more than anyone else besides Joseph exactly what he's capable of.
No, you taught them wrong. As a joke.
Yeah, that was his crazy. He taught his ghouls all sorts of crazy ass shit.
All right, so your characters are in essence done with this turn of a night morning.
I believe so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm. Joy. Do, 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 do,
Yes.
do, 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 do.
Is my mic not working again?
Huh? It's possible that you might have been saying things that we hadn't heard you say. I hadn't heard you
Yeah.
speak in a few minutes.
Yeah, I said like yeah, I was done with this turn. I was just like, apparently if I'm not focused on TeamSpeak, it doesn't like talking sometimes.
Yeah,
God
you
damn
said
it.
that before. Interesting. But yeah, anyway, in that case, you guys actually left the month of April behind, by the way. You're in the month of May now. It's now Friday, May 1st. Woo! As you all edge on down to sleep. And the sun rises. And the sun sets. And about 4 hours later, you all awaken, losing a point of blood in the process. Marcus, for you, sleep actually was very peaceful, and perhaps as a result, very, very welcome. And you were not disturbed during it while you rested in the Majestic, assuming that's where Marcus actually went to sleep.
I have nowhere else to sleep.
Yeah,
No.
it's actually peaceful as if whatever was riding on you was content that you were at the Majestic.
For now, at least.
Yeah, everyone wakes up just a minute or two shy of 11 p.m. It's still another cool night. It rained once again during the day, as it turns out, though, but it's not raining currently. Still some cloud coverage in the sky, but which all of the lights from Manhattan reflect on. Woo. Consulting messages, Marcus will find one from Evelyn saying, "Affair's been taken care of. Key to the room," and she gives you the room number. We'll say something like ground floor, so 1D. is on my desk in the office. You can come pick it up whenever.
Great.
For Byron, there's a message from Evelyn. It goes, "Hi, honey. So the Lucky Ace, the owner for it, she rattles off a name. He's just some sort of Manhattan businessman type mogul. Apparently was a former chef, worked his way up. Doesn't seem to be anything too remarkable. Doesn't have a criminal record, if that's what you were thinking about. Uh, he seems fine? Eh? I don't exactly know what you're looking for. Anyway, love you, bye."
Okay, does Byron know any? Does Byron know anything about the name she gave, or just basic run-of-the-mill millionaire in New York?
Basically that, as Evelyn said, just like some sort of success story guy who did work his way up in the restaurant business and was a chef. Apparently, he just has like a passion for history, and he had a great interest in the Lucky Ace establishment because of its history, and he bought it. Apparently, the Lucky Ace used to be like a historical site, but then it was going to be, due to the fact it was in prime scenery location, was actually going to be dezoned and then demolished. But he snapped it up and he renovated it and made it profitable.
All right, well, Byron is both relieved and disappointed. He's relieved that it wasn't some obvious front for the mob or something else, but he's also a little disappointed that it's just some dude that bought a place.
Damn it! If only I could socialize
I
with
was hoping
Blockhead
for a
again.
mystery.
Boo.
Oh, yeah, now he's very interested in it, but probably nowhere near as interested as David would be talking about secret rooms and stuff. I don't know. Maybe David would like that.
I mean, David's kind of interested in mystery.
Anyway, there you go. That's what awaits you. For David, no disturbances happen, and for Joseph, everything's fine. Joseph, we'll start with you. What's up, Buttercup?
Well, he'll be heading to the Lucky Ace.
All right, Joseph heads towards the Lucky Ace.
He's
Wait a
dressed
minute, did you?
appropriately too, and yes, he does know. He knows about it at least enough to head to it. That's
Sure.
all I'm saying for the moment.
Sure does. What about
Alrighty.
everyone else?
Well, Marcus will head to the office to pick up his key.
All right, Marcus heads to Astoria Estates. David, Biron.
David's going to call up Marcus.
Marcus is heading out of the Majestic, and sort of unfortunate malaise settles onto his shoulders once more, and he gets a call from David.
Hello?
Hey, I dug into the whole Shivani thing.
Yeah?
Says that the best way to attract their attention is to involve yourself in some way with their business affairs, but that if you piss them off, they'll sit ghosts on you.
Well, there's one thing that I don't really have to worry about. I already have one on me.
Yeah, well, what if you've got another?
Well, then maybe they could fight over me. I don't know.
Right. Anyway, so you'll want to try to attract their attention in some way without pissing them off.
Do you know what their business is in Manhattan or New York?
All I really know for sure is that they're in with freight shipping and the vice trade.
I know some things about vices.
Yeah, you do. Anyway, I know they've got dealings with the Ventru. They've got dealings with the Setites. They've got their fingers in as many pies as they can. So, I don't know, you might be able to ask one of your toreadors if they know something.
I'll look into it.
Right. Tell me before you actually do anything, though.
Will do.
How's the ghost?
Still there.
Peachy.
Indeed.
All right. I'm thinking of going and taking another look at the detective's place again tonight. You can come
All right.
along if you want. If you don't, you don't have to.
You should be fine. If he's there, he still has the second you fed him enough blood that he's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm gonna go check out some other things. Not the Giovanni, though.
All right. I'll keep you updated. Oh, and how's the
Cool.
apartment search coming?
We already found one place, remember?
Right. But how's it going with Evelyn? I mean, she still
She
hasn't
already-
found a place for me, and I don't know
She's
if
already
she's
got
looking
me in,
anymore.
and I'm
Nice.
already have the place. I'm coming to get the key now.
Well, that's fantastic. Maybe if you stop sleeping at the Majestic, the ghost problem will go away.
Probably not.
Yeah, but I can be optimistic sometimes.
Sure you can.
I can. Like, I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
Anyway, I'll keep you updated.
All right.
Click.
Well, Marcus is going to continue heading to Astoria Estates to get his key.
Yeah, and oddly enough, not because of what Sean said, but Byron is going to be heading down to the Lucky Ace too, because now he has another excuse to go down there, which is to check out the weird flipping tables and false walls, or at least talk about people about it. And he'll see if he can find anyone else from City Hall as well. Maybe learn more about Edward.
All right. Don't mind me, everyone. I'm not doing anything.
Okay, I won't.
Oh, good. That's current willpower. Marcus finds himself with sort of compulsion, a command given in his head to, now as he's walking, to scream at the top of his lungs, "I'm a dick!"
Why did I do that?
Well, I mean, you do have a point.
He definitely gets some odd looks. But this being New York City, world of darkness, people just hope you'll go away.
I'm just going to keep walking.
His Dexys. I fucking pulled up the chat again. Free booze! Alright, well, Marcus arrives at Astoria Estates. Not a problem. Was able to pick up the key right where Evelyn said it would be.
Yep. Then with key in hand, I'm going to check out my new place.
You're not really gonna leave me, are you?
I'm not going to say anything. Just going to keep going.
Because ignoring your problems makes them go away.
Hey, pay attention to me. Hey, I said stop!
And Marcus feels a compulsion, stops dead in his tracks while walking.
Why would you leave me? I comforted and protected you while you were sleeping so beautifully and peacefully. I could have moved anything and exposed you to the sun, but I kept you safe when no one did for me. And now you're just gonna go? After all that we've shared?
Marcus can move again.
Just gonna keep walking.
Man, you sure know how to sweet talk a ghost.
Marcus just has a sort of mental image of his head of like a tea kettle steaming on a stove. But nothing further is said. Byron, being close to the locale, arrives at the Lucky Ace. It's a happening place, 'cause it's Friday night, ladies' night, yeah! Ladies' drinks are half off, I'm serious. A little sort of neon sign advertises that Friday night. And there's definitely a line outside the establishment this time.
User in your channel timed out.
Cripson apparently can't handle it.
User was moved to your channel.
Apparently you couldn't handle ladies' night, Cripson.
I was afraid. I was like, oh my gosh, so many women and a line. Damn it.
Quite a long line. Ramps pretty extensively. Goes down half a block.
I mean, all that blood parading around in such a pretty wrapper.
Oh yeah, and these ladies are quite the treat. Sort of gives Byron flashbacks to how he felt outclassed the middlemen. It's really guys mainly who are standing out, though. As it turns out, this is one of the many clubs that has gender discrimination.
Right. Makes sense to me. Let's see. I'm looking up because I'm probably going to walk straight up to the bouncer. I'll probably awe in the vicinity, then I'll use the dominate, which is, again, mesmerize. I'll say, hey, you remember me. You'll let me in, right?
There are two bouncers as there were yesterday, standing outside, one on each end, basically to cover for each other so that one can't just, like, you assume, readily accept bribes or perhaps get overwhelmed if a group of guys gets rowdy.
Right. That's why I was going to do the awe to hopefully get both of them on my side, and then I would mesmerize the guy that was checking the list. And maybe I'll say, Byron Rand, my name's on the list now, isn't it? Or something like that. Or you see my name on the list, right? That would be a better way to put it.
It's certainly something you could try. Hopefully they wouldn't feel compelled to have a sense of self-preservation in the face of all of the guys who would be angry at you for cutting in line.
Brian Rand doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, if I get 5 successes, it wouldn't matter anyway. Let's hope I do that.
There we go. That's what you're aiming for. 5 successes. 1d10 with minimum of 7.
Hey man, I've got I've got 9 dice at a +2 because of enchanting voice, and I am mesmerizing them or awing them first.
Your lucky merit is all tapped out, though, right?
What's that?
Your lucky merit is all tapped out, right?
It is. Well, I could fail. If I fail, I'll just shrug and go to the back of the line. I will bow out gracefully. But yeah, got to give it a shot. I don't want to sit there all night trying to get in.
No. If you fail, blood buff all the way up, and then just start punching them in the dicks. Well, like, screaming incoherently.
That's obviously the best response.
It's the most dignified response, I think we can all agree.
That's why it's option B, right?
Option B. Sometimes so good, you just want option A to fail.
I don't know about that. Anyway, if Byron wishes to attempt to awe his way with the
Nope,
bouncers.
not even close. I don't even care what they are. unless it's a 6. Unless a 6 does it. And I don't even know how you decided if I get...
Charisma plus performance difficulty 7, even with enchanting voice that rolls it down to, what, 5? So all of those are still lower, right?
I rolled 6 instead of 4. But yeah, the first 4 would be 2, 3, 4, 4. Enchanting voice is plus 2. So, or minus 2 to the difficulty. So yeah, it'd be 5. He fails.
Yep. His attempt at wooing the bouncers with a sort of awe, these were different guys, so like they wouldn't have prior remembering of what Byron did prior. Nope, he's laughed at and told to get the fuck back or get the fuck out of here. Politely, with no profanity, but it's how I
I haven't
talk.
said anything. I haven't said anything yet. But yeah, I was going to dominate after that. I was just like making them trying to ease it in, but
They're not even a little bit profane?
No. I mean, Byron is just like, I mean, he's dealt with failure a lot. I mean, with the type of
Yeah,
job.
he sure has.
No, I just mean as a lobbyist and stuff. You take it in stride. I mean, you basically you get a lot of no's in the sales industry. I'll put it that way.